Okay, my tubies, I am back with part 2 on how to identify if he or she is abusive. We are back with MJ, and here's part 2.
Who came to me and said to me, "Why are you with him in the first place?" You never believe this one. I give her my glasses. Where's my drink? I'm reading your comments.
Let me move up.
Am I preaching, Mom?
All right, this is clear. This is good.
Oh, she said Superman don't wear glasses. Clark Kent does. They wrote that here too. Yeah, I know. Guess who came to me and said to me, "Why are you even with him? You think he was his best friend?" Nope. His mama. If you can't listen to the mama, honey, you a fool. She said to me, I had the unfortunate event of meeting her, and I say unfortunate event because she wasn't a nice woman. But I was fortunate that I at least got her wisdom. She's not a nice woman. But I get it. She been dealing with that son who probably been bringing all kinds of fools around her. So she says to me, we were sitting there one day, and she says, she's so nasty. She said, "You seem like a nice person." And I was so young. I said, "I am." So young. I said, "I am." "Why the hell are you with my son?" And I think she's trying to talk me out of being with me, like she didn't like me, like something like that.
And you know, that same experience is what I pretty much felt when it came to my ex's sister and his family. She was looking at me like, what the hell is wrong with this lady? She looks like an educated woman. She looks well adjusted. She looks whatever. Why on earth is she with him? You know, I'm quite sure that his sister and I were not closer or as close as we could have been, because she feels that any female that's with her brother, something's got to be wrong with the female. Definitely.
And she says, I said, "So because I like him and he likes me and I love him and blah, 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 blah."
And let me just clear this up. The only reason why I got with that clown is because he was a Taurus. I had got hurt by a Taurus, and I felt that I needed a Taurus to help heal me. Okay, I started off just wanting to talk to him and trying to develop a friendship with him. That's how I started it off. That's the way I wanted it. And his mother was a Capricorn. Because Tubies, trust me, he was not my taste, my type of guy. And if he was not a Taurus and his mom wasn't a Capricorn, he would have never been a part of my life. Never. That's what happens when you're following horoscopes and you don't know that the sun sign is not important. You better look at that moon and that Mercury, the Venus and the Mars.
And she said, "You with him for his money or something?" I said, "Ma'am, I make more than him." Check that. All right? And she says, "Okay, well, that makes my point even better. Why are you with my son?" I said, "Because I love him." And she said, "Baby, sometimes love ain't enough." She says, "My son is unhealthy. He's toxic." Even his ex came to me. It was complaining about me, complaining about him to me.
Just like my ex's, his sister. She would throw him out. You know, she would try to help him out, and he used to piss her off. He was so toxic that even she had to keep throwing him out. I mean, there was a time when he was struggling with a situation, trying to be clean and sober. His sister lived like right down the block from him. She never even bothered to come over to see him. She never really came over to try to spend time with him. She never really invited him anywhere, not much of any place. And if she did invite him somewhere, the end point, she would end up saying, "You know what, when we get back, I want you to pack your stuff and get the F out of my house." Because even she knew that he was abusive and very, very toxic. Everywhere he goes, people were kicking him out, kicking him out. constantly. Toxic.
And guess what else she said? She said, and I'll tell you this, I thought you was a home wrecker at first. I said, why'd you think that? She said, because my son's ex came to me and said, ma'am, I think that he's cheating on me with somebody named Malcolm. I said, what? He told me he wasn't in no relationship. I went from real polite to hood in a minute. I said, he said he wasn't in no relationship. And she said, baby, if he wasn't in a relationship when he met you, then why did his ex come to me while they were together and say that he was with you? I didn't know that he was whatever it was. I didn't know this man was cheating. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Okay? I may have been young. I may have been foolish, but I had enough sense to know that I had options. Why the fuck would I fuck around with a man who has somebody else? I ain't never been a side piece of nothing. Ain't never done that, honey. I'm the prize, honey. I'm the prize.
I hear you.
She said, my son ain't no good. Okay? Share this story. I'm giving y'all tea and giving y'all a lesson too. I've been through some things. Y'all ask where I get all this wisdom from, because I've been through some shit. Okay? Been through some things. Okay?
Okay.
And I felt so bad, because I said, all this time, you tell me that this ex been running around here thinking that I was the other person? This man mad at him and mad at me. Right? And I ain't never had no enemies. I don't want nobody mad at me. So, he was upstairs when his mother was saying this to me. Right? Comes downstairs. He says, baby, you want to go to the movies? I said, yeah, we can go to the movies. We can go to the movies. I just need to get out the house. I said, I want to talk to him when we get out the house. We driving down the street. Real back country road, right? Driving down the street. I said, why did your mother say what she said to me? He said, what did my mother say to you?
That you're a piece of garbage?
I said,
you're toxic garbage?
Your mother told me, first of all, that your ex came to her around the time that we met and said that you were cheating on her with me. You were cheating on him with me. He was a man. I said, why did she say that? He said, you misunderstood her. I said, no, baby, I got a college degree and I'm smart as fuck. I know what the fuck she said. Right, I'm bold now. All right? Why did she say that to me? He looks at me and he says, shut the fuck up. Now, I'm little. I'm 5'7". I'm a little thicker these days. But back then, I was a solid 130 pounds, something like that, honey. So I was little, honey. Little teeny tiny waist, okay? And I got this big old booty I got to carry around with me. But back then, I had a little tiny waist. And I didn't care, even still. I grew up with brothers who fought. I didn't care. I said, I'm not shutting the fuck up at all. I said, you need to speak up. Why did your mother say that? And you know what he said to me next? He said, she don't know what she's talking about. My mother's crazy. If a man calls his own mother crazy and she's not certifiably crazy, just know you messing with somebody who this is a whole nother story, baby. You dealing with a true mess there, right?
Absolutely. Because I recall when my ex's woman, Sony over in Buffalo, she was telling me certain things about my ex. And then when I told my ex about what she had told me, he was like, oh, please, she's crazy. She's just a drunk. She's just a this. And then he used to tell me things about some other female he was messing with, Nadine, and how he used to call her, she was crazy. She was, no, they weren't the crazy ones, honey. He was the nut job.
Right? I said, you called your mother crazy? You're saying she's crazy? Guess what he does? He says, get the fuck out my car. And as he's driving, pulling over to the side of the road. Get the fuck out my car. He's leaning, trying to undo the doorknob to open the thing. And then after he get the door halfway, he pushes my seatbelt button. He's not all the way stopped yet. I'm going, what the fuck you doing? What the fuck you doing? I'm kicking and shit. It's like,
You can't help but laugh, but then it gives me a flashback too. When I was talking to my ex in the car, we was in Buffalo. I had my 2 grandkids with me. We're in the car, and every time he gets upset with something, he just presses down on the gas, driving real fast like a maniac. Now keep in mind, he already got one of his hands that's kind of like twisted in and all of this crazy nonsense. And then he starts accelerating on the gas, acting like a fool. So of course I had to calm him down. Here we go again. I got to diffuse the situation. Here we go again. This three-year-old, and he's done that several times. And I told him, you know what, dude, let me tell you something. Don't ask me to get in no car with you again. That's not happening because you're an idiot. And he has done that with other people who have been in the car, and they cursed him out though. They cursed him out. I remember them cursing him out, telling him, nigga, you need to stop slow down, you dumb MFer. That's the way Sony used to call him. She said, why don't you call him the way I used to call him? I used to call him, hey, you dumb MFer. That's what she had no respect for him at all. Really.
What's the movie with Annabelle? What's the one, what's up got to do with it? I'm like, what the fuck you doing? I'm going off, and me and I don't go off, do I? You see her eyes, she like, okay. I'm like, I'm kicking. No, what the fuck are you doing? You bastard! You motherfucker! I'm going off, baby. Okay?
Okay.
He managed to get the door open. I'm doing all this kicking, right? I didn't know what to do. And he's slowing the car down. And I wasn't worried about him pushing out of a moving car because I figured he was going to stop the car before he pushed me. Right? I just didn't want to be on the side of the road because we didn't have Uber back then. I don't think we did. And then next thing I know, boom, he opens the door and pushes me. The car wasn't going too fast, but that's not a moving car. A moving fucking car. I think my adrenaline's too high and I'm still screaming every motherfucker you can imagine. Shock. In shock. Arm scratch. Everything. Child. I just get the fan, honey. This the filter for the light. Honey, I was just in a daze and a tizzy. You hear me? He pulls the car over. That's the problem. You be starting this shit and da-da-da-da-da. You don't know when to keep your motherfucking mouth closed. He's blaming me and going off me and calling me every name you can imagine in the book. Which leads me to the next sign that you was an abuser. Verbal and physical abuse, if that shit wasn't obvious enough for you.
Absolutely.
They calling you names, calling you outside your name. I don't care how mad somebody get, that is not justified. And them talking to you any old kind of way. And it only justify.
Yeah, I remember the time that he had got on the phone when I had called the police to come and escort him out of my house. He got on the phone and called some crackhead, some low-life loser. Would you believe this bitch? He called me a bitch. He called me that like 2 or 3 times out of the whole 11 years that I've known him, calling me a bitch. That threw me back because I've never had no man talk to me that way. Or never had no man address me, call me out of my name like that, ever. I've never had no guy talk to me like that, ever. And when he said that, I was so happy when I saw the police come and they escorted him out. They made him give me my keys and they escorted his ugly monkey, twisted up behind, out of my house.
I didn't put their hands on you under any circumstance. If somebody can't keep their hands to themselves, honey, guess what? That's a fucking problem. Okay?
Yep.
Let's go forward from there. Okay? I chilled out. He chilled out because it was a cycle of abuse. He go off. I calm. I forgive him. We go back to wherever we were before. Then this one time, then a little while later after that, we were at his house.
Oh, I didn't want to forget the part where he had tried to run my family over with his car. We're outside where I live. It's a nice neighborhood, a decent neighborhood where it's civilized. We're outside here. He's acting a fool. And he comes with the car and he tries to run us over. My son is pushing me back and my daughter and my daughter and me are being pushed back. Lassetti and my son was out there ready to tackle this stupid piece of garbage. And I was upset because I'm the one who brought this character into our family. So, of course, I felt very protective of my family because if anything happened to my family, I'm going to feel horrible because I'm the one who brought this mental patient into our lives. But everything, it turned out fine. You know, we managed to diffuse the situation, got rid of that piece of garbage.
And he had just given me this bag. I remember that was like a gift. I got so many bags from him. And now I know y'all asking, why didn't you leave him then? Oh, girls, I was young. And I think that when you go through abuse of somebody repeatedly, you keep forgiving them. If you choose to keep forgiving them, it builds your tolerance up for what you're going to accept the next time, and the next time, and the next time. That's
my reason for constantly dealing with him is because I felt sorry for him. Like I said, he had 2 disabilities, one mental, where he had TBI, a traumatic brain injury, which caused him to have certain learning disabilities, and he was very impulsive. You know, he would do things without thinking. You know, believe me, I taught that guy a lot, a whole lot. And then he had where he walks with a limp and his hand was turned inwards and his arm was like whatever. Anyway, so I kept feeling sorry for him, pity. Man, I got to a point where no more pity, honey. I'm done. I don't give a damn what happened to you.
People say, how could she end up in that abusive relationship? How is she with this man who abused her? Why would she let it get this far? Because the devil starts off as bad as it gets to. It starts off with little things. It's the controlling. Then it goes to the yelling. Then it goes from the yelling to the rage. From the rage to the pushing. From the pushing to the hidden. From the hidden to the everything else. You see where I'm going? And so during all this time that you're tolerating it, letting it get worse and worse and worse, your attachment is growing more and more and more to them. And you keep on, you're in a cycle. It's a cycle. They act up, you get mad, they buy you something, you forgive them. They get mad, you get mad, they do something abusive, y'all don't talk, then you have a makeup sex and you get back together. It's a cycle. So in our cycle, we back. I knew I was falling out of love with them though, because the sorries didn't mean as much anymore. They just didn't mean as much anymore.
Exactly, I know that
but
feeling
I wasn't
too.
Done. I was falling out.
Yeah, I knew my feelings was done for him. Yeah, I remember that too. When I no longer started to feel sorry for him anymore. You know, the times when I kept taking him back, I would have pity. That pity was gone. Then I knew that I no longer loved him. You know, before I've always loved him, but never in love. But I knew then that I didn't even love him anymore. Actually, I didn't even care anymore. Because I no longer felt sorry. Before I would keep taking him back. He would tell me a sob story and how he's hurting and crying on the phone and apologizing and talking about how since I lost you, everything has been all messed up. And I used to feel sorry, but I had no pity. I had none. I had no love. I no longer even cared.
I love it. I wasn't done. On this one particular day, we were sitting there. And it was an evening time. I remember the sun was shining. And you know when the sun is setting, it's coming right through the window. The sun rays. And I was sitting there. And you know what song was playing in my head? Donny Hathaway's Giving Up. You know what I'm talking about? Giving up. I don't sing, y'all. It's so hard to do when you really love someone. Look it up, girls. If you ever want to get your strength up to leave a man, leave a woman, look that song up. Giving up. Whoa, I was sitting there. Honey, if I had a cigarette, I'd have my cigarette sitting like this, honey. I'd have my cigarette sitting like this, sitting there. The sun leaned in on me. Sitting there. And I was just sitting there thinking about him. And he come in the room. Hey, baby, how you doing? Kiss me on the cheek. Kiss me on the cheek. Right?
And you wanted to throw up. Want to throw up.
How you doing, baby? And he said to me, you good, baby? You know, I know last night was rough because we probably argued the night before. I know last night was rough. I said, it's fine, baby. It's fine. I got dinner in the kitchen. And I kept on sitting there just looking out the window. Looking out the window. He knew something was wrong. He wasn't no fool. He knew something was wrong. Okay? And next thing I know, he say, you good, baby? I said, I'm good, baby. I'm good. And he comes back to me. He says, are we good? And I looked at him and I couldn't lie. I just looked at him and I said, I don't know. Now, a man with half of any sense would have known that he was like a deer standing in the middle of the road about to get hit by a semi-trailer called Breakup. But his ass was too stupid for that. Too much ego.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I don't know. He goes in the kitchen.
And I remember my ex, he had so much ego too. I was telling him how, you know, if this keeps if this situation doesn't change, you know, I'm gonna have to, you know, have you removed. I'm gonna remove you from. Ain't nobody gonna remove me out of here. Nobody's gonna take me out of here. And when he said that, you know what? That registered in Sheila Truehead. Now you done challenge me. Don't sit up here and challenge me, Negro. Because whenever I want you out, you will be out. He's like, they're gonna have to carry me out. I'll stay right here. Yeah, I was like, yeah, okay. He don't know who he's messing with. He's used to dealing with them crackheads and them bipolars and those homeless thoughts on the street. He don't have a clue who he's dealing with. I had to show him. Like they say, I could show you better than I could tell you. As the police was escorting him out.
Comes back out. And says, what the fuck you mean you don't know? I'm committed to you. I do all this shit. You did it all. I just bought you this bag and everything like that. And I love that bag. It was a beautiful bag. It was a bag I wanted for a long time. You know? And you know what he does? He goes and he's yelling and screaming. He's like, well, fuck this. If you want to leave me, then fuck this. He grabs the bag that he had given me and rips it. Rips it. Took strength. He ripped the bag. That was my personal belongings. That was mine. It was a gift to me. Because he was an actor.
Look at his chest. He hitting his Superman chest.
That's another sign, girls. They start messing up your personal belongings. Punching holes in walls.
Yup. Didn't I tell you, Tubies?
Messing stuff up.
Yup. I told you. Yup. That's why I said also, I got to get this character out of my house. Because whenever my son or my brother or whatever decides to leave, I'm going to be stuck in this house with just me and him. That ain't going to happen. Because he's the type of sucker that when you get ready to kick him out, he would cut up all your furniture, bash up your TV. He would try to tear up everything in your house. That's the kind of evil and how mean-spirited he was. I knew that. And the thing about it that freaks me out is Jesus Christ kept removing him and I kept bringing him back. Jesus kept removing him. Jesus removed him after 3 months of me knowing him, really. After 3 months, I told him, you know what? I think it's better that you and me, we just try to be friends. Because after 3 months, I knew. But that's what happens when you don't listen to your intuition. But going forward, you know, we live, we learn. I will always listen to my intuition. Because he was a destroyer. He wanted to try to tear up everything in your damn house.
Man, they gotta rip something. Girl. That's an abusive man. You hear where I'm going with this? I eventually got the strength to leave him. You know why I left him? What I did was one day he was at work. And I told him to meet me out after work. Meet me out at like a Starbucks, something like that. Nikki Applebottom said, throw high grits on him. Girl! I love y'all girls. Y'all don't play. I said, meet me out at Starbucks. If you ever want to leave, and remember this, you pull your hand from the lion's mouth gently, okay? So what I did was this. I said, meet me out. I called 2 of my friends. Mom, that outlet is weak. That's why that thing keep on jumping. Plug it in on the other side of the island. On the seat right over there. I told 2 of my friends I'm breaking up with them tonight. Told them exactly what I was doing. Even had one accompany me, but not within eyesight. And I told him to meet me at the place. He met me there. I sat down with him. And I said, I just want to talk to you about our relationship. He said, sure, I got some things I want to say. I said, by all means, why don't you speak first? I'm good, I'm ready. You know what I mean? And he went to talking about how, he says, I love you and I feel like I treat you real good and everything like that. I know I got some areas to grow within, but you got some areas you need to grow within too. Because I'm trying to get myself together, but I can't get myself together with the way you be ticking me off, the way you be pushing my buttons. And he's
gaslighting.
Now I don't believe in using the N-word at all.
No, projection. That's projection.
Niggas up here trying to get me.
Yeah, that's projection.
Like I did something wrong to him. What the fuck? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Pardon my language. But that's what I thought. And he's going in, but I kept a straight face. I kept a straight face. He kept talking. Kept talking. I kept talking. That's a public place.
That's right.
I said, is that everything? He said, that's everything. I leaned in and grabbed both of his hands.
You know, that's one thing also. If you're with a person who's very abusive and you're afraid that, you know, if you're with them in person, one-on-one, no. You always break up with them. Do it over a text, you know, when they're nowhere around you, and do it in public, or do it in public. Even though my ex-narc, he would scream and lose his goddamn mind even in public, but at least in public, you'll have people on their cell phones calling the police, you know? So always act wisely.
I rubbed on his hands. And I said, baby, you're a beautiful man. He said, so are you. I said, you're a man with, you know, I think you have so many great qualities. But I'll tell you this, I don't think that either of us deserve to be unhappy like we've been feeling in this relationship. You would agree, right? He says, yeah, I would agree. And he says, and that's why I'm telling you that you need to work on these things. If you could work on this, we would have a better relationship. I said, see, that's the issue there. I think that we're at a philosophical impasse. He said, a what? I said, we fundamentally view this relationship differently.
Idiot.
Because you view this relationship as something that's damaged because of changes that I have yet to make. And I view this relationship as damaged because I think that you're dysfunctional. And I think that I don't have a high enough self-esteem I haven't had a high enough self-esteem to recognize that. So I've tolerated it. I said, so here we are, thinking that our relationship is damaged, and we both think it's the other person's fault. And for that reason, we need to transition into having a friendship.
That's right.
He looked, and he pulled his hands away from me. He looked down at the table. He looked up at me like this. He looked around, looking at where we was at. So he realized he was in a public place. He looked down again. He looked up at me, and then he said, bang! And banged his hand on the table and said, bitch, are you breaking up with me? I smiled. You know why I smiled? First of all, because it was funny. I watched him do that, so I realized he was completely powerless. And for over a year, he had a lot of power in my life. And I smiled above all because I was finally doing something that I know I should have done a long time ago. I was smiling because of my strength. I said, I am. And he said, you gonna fucking smile about it? Honey, security looking over. They're looking over at him. And I leaned into that table because I felt so powerful. I said, sweetheart, you may want to chill out. I said, because I don't think that these police officers in this nice neighborhood is going to take too kindly to a man like yourself going off in here. So if I was you, I'd chill out. Oh, so this is a setup. You're going to pull me to a public location thinking I won't go off. I said, do what you choose to do, baby. I just going to have a conversation with you. All right?
Yeah, you see how he remains calm?
As soon as he does that, he jumps up and walks like, fuck this, fuck this, fuck this.
That's the same thing that happened with me with my narc. I saw times when he was trying to provoke me. And guess how I handled that, Tubies? Because I knew he was trying to provoke me. So the more calm you speak to them, the more angry they get. So I kept speaking calmly. I kept made sure that my disposition was calm. I made sure my tone in my voice was relaxed. And let him know that I was the one who was in charge and I'm the one who's in control. Look at you. You're sitting there flipping out, losing it. And the more he kept losing it, the calmer I spoke. And I felt powerful.
So we're going to talk about this later. I text my friend. I said he's walking out. So my friend could come in and escort me to my car. I parked somewhere else. We couldn't even see where I was going to go to. I didn't go home that night. Because where you think he was going to go? He was going to go to my house. I went to my friend's house instead. You see where I'm going with that? I went to my friend's house instead. You see where I'm going? And I stayed there for a little while. You got to have a plan because these men be going into a rage. You see where I'm going with that?
Yep.
Long story short, I gave well over a year of my life to this man. You see where I'm going with this? Because I didn't know my own value. And
you see how he said he gave well over a year, just a little over a year. Well over, better yet, a year. Imagine 11 years. Yeah. That's because I was raised with this cult, Jehovah's Witnesses, and all that crazy nonsense. Sitting up there making women put up with a lot of abuse, and work with your marriage, and let these men get away with so much. Man, forget that Jehovah's Witness cult. Because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't, honey, please, I would be so much farther in life than I am now. Because that's all that organization teaches you, is that the man is always right, put up with the abuse, women are nothing but doormats. Nah, nah. I said the hell with that religion, and the hell with him too.
And because of the fact that I overlooked a lot of signs and symptoms of an abusive partner, because in my own mind, I was interpreting those signs and symptoms as a reflection of him being committed, as a reflection of him loving me, as a reflection of him being devoted. I said, he's not needy and possessive, he's just attentive. I said, he's not controlling, he just wants to make sure that we're good. You see the lies we tell ourselves so we can justify someone else's dysfunction? So I hope this video helps you. What I want you to do is tag at least a couple friends on here. All right?
Absolutely.
You'll never know who's in an abusive relationship. In fact, we're going to do this. We're not going to be messy. Just tag any friends you know who's in a relationship. Okay? Because if you ask anybody else who was around me, most of them never knew that anything was wrong. They said, y'all are such a beautiful couple. He treats you so good. He buys you such nice things.
They're definitely one way out in public and a totally different way behind closed doors. As I know, I don't have to tell you that, my tubies.
Little did they know. You don't always know.
It's true.
I'm going to go up and read some of y'all's comments right quick before I close out.
All right, guys. So anyway, there you have it, my tubies, my Teletubbies. That is MJ Harris. And he has so many more videos that are so helpful. I love this man. He's a genius. He's very charismatic, incredibly. You'll see in all of his videos, he has energy, which is something that I'm very attracted to. Energy, you know? Now, as for his gay lifestyle, that's between him and Jesus Christ and Jehovah God. That's not for me. I sit in judgment of no one. You know, that's something he got to work out among himself. But anyway, I just wanted to share this information with you. And if you know of anyone who's in an abusive relationship, please, by all means, pass this on. Please, pass it on. This is Sheila True Love, truly loving you. Until next time, bye for now.